My beloved child, before you continue listening to this message, allow your heart to be silent for a few moments and realize something that you often forget. I am here. I've always been here, before you even understood the weight you carried. I already knew every thought, every hidden tear, every night that your soul tried to find the strength to continue. I see what no one else sees. I know the tiredness that doesn't show up on your face. I know the battles you never told anyone, the questions that were stored inside you, and that feeling that something should have happened. But it hasn't happened yet. But I want to reveal to you something that may change the way you see your own story. You think you are standing still, but I tell you there is movement going on in the unseen. You think nothing has changed, but I tell you roots are growing where you can only see dry land. You think that silence means absence, but I tell you, it is often in silence that I prepare that which your eyes cannot yet contemplate. My son, you have looked at the time of waiting and believed that you missed opportunities. He has been looking behind closed doors and thinking he has been forgotten. You have been looking at some losses and imagining that I have allowed something to be taken from you without purpose. But I know the end from the beginning. As you listen to me now, I am already touching places within you that have been hurt for a long time. I am already bringing light to thoughts that have remained hidden in the darkness. I am already restoring parts of your soul that you believed would never be healed again. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. It's not just a coincidence. There is something that your soul needs to remember. Before this message ends, I want to reveal something that you may have forgotten. You have never walked alone. Many times you have tried to understand everything before trusting. He tried to see the whole way before taking the next step. But I have never asked you to know all the details. I just asked him to recognize my voice, because there is a call that continues to echo within you. There is a direction which I am still showing. There is a part of your identity that has not been destroyed by hardship, loss, or years that have passed. My beloved son, the time has come to look again at your history. What you called delay may have been preparation. What you called abandonment may have been protection. That which you called silence was perhaps the place where I was working most deeply. And now I want you to understand that when you thought I had been silent, I was preparing the moment to call you. My beloved child, now I want to lead you on a journey of revelation, where you will understand that my silence never meant abandonment and that each waiting carried an invisible purpose. I'm going to show you how. I was already working on areas of your life that you couldn't see, strengthening your roots and preparing your heart for a new understanding. If this word has found you, declare your faith with me and write Amen in the comments. I want you to recognize my presence at this time. If this message has touched your soul, enjoy this video and subscribe to continue receiving words that strengthen your walk with me. Don't go now. Stay until the end, because in the last minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you. I'm going to show you a truth that can transform the way you view your story, and realize that I never stopped acting, even when you didn't. My beloved son, I remember the times when I touched your heart in silent ways and you thought it was not yet the right time to respond. I saw when you felt a deep desire to change, to walk in a new direction, to let go of that which weighed on your soul, but waited for a perfect confirmation. You think you need all the answers before you can obey, but I tell you, faith is not born when everything is explained. It is born when you trust in me, even without seeing all the details. Abraham left his land without knowing the full path that I had prepared. Peter left the boat before he understood the depth of the waters. They had no human security in their hands. They only had a trust placed in my voice. You think they were chosen because they never felt fear, but I tell you that they also faced doubts, uncertainties, and moments when they had to decide between remaining in the known or walking in the unseen. I don't expect you to have control of everything to begin with. I hope you will surrender to me that which you have held so tightly. Because many times what you call prudence is just fear in disguise. Often what you call preparation is just an attempt to postpone the decision that I have already placed before you. You think you have to wait for the perfect moment, but I tell you, the perfect moment never existed for those who walked with me. The way was cleared as they walked. The light appeared as they took steps. The direction became clearer as they trusted. My son, I have already put seeds within your soul. There are gifts, callings, and desires that I planted in you long ago. But a seed that remains stored never becomes a tree. It needs to be placed on the earth. It needs to break through its own shell. It needs to accept the invisible process before it reaches heaven. You look at your weakness and think that it is a hindrance. I tell you that it can be the place where my strength is manifested. You look at your limitations and think that they define how far you can go. I tell you that my presence is greater than any human inability. Verse. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. I am already working within your consciousness to awaken that which has lain dormant. I am already touching memories, restoring thoughts, and bringing back to the surface what you have abandoned for fear of failure. You think you have wasted time waiting, but I tell you that the greatest danger is not in the waiting that you prepare. It is in the waiting that paralyzes. There's a difference between trusting in my time and running away from my direction. I don't want you to walk through anxiety, but I also don't want you to remain stuck in a zone where your soul doesn't grow. Because I have spoken to your heart many times. I have already shown signs, I have already brought concerns, and I have already asked questions inside you that have not disappeared. The real backwardness has never been in me. The delay happened when you tried to find a security that would only be born after the first step. My son, if this word has touched your heart, write Amen in the comments, because this act of faith I hear. My dearly beloved child, I know that many times you look around you and feel that the walls are approaching. You look at the current situation and think that this is the limit of your story. You think that the place where you are defines the place where you will stay. But I tell you, the scene before your eyes has never been greater than the plan I have for your life. You see walls, but I see doors which have not yet been revealed. You see a place of waiting, but I see an environment where I am strengthening your soul. You see a difficult season, but I see roots growing deep so that you will stand firm when the winds come. My son, you forget Joseph. He looked around and saw a prison. He felt the weight of the chains, the injustice of being abandoned, and the pain of being forgotten by those who were supposed to protect him. But I never looked at Joseph as a prisoner. As he saw bars, I saw a path to the palace. While he thought his story had been cut short, I was already preparing the place where his identity would be revealed. You think that some situations have diminished you, but I tell you that some of them have only hidden for a while what I have already placed within you. A seed remains hidden underground before breaking through the surface. The fact that no one sees its growth does not mean that nothing is happening. I'm already working in the places where you believe nothing changes. I'm already touching areas of your mind that have been tired by waiting. I am already strengthening your consciousness so that you are not destroyed by the weight of the process. You think the door is closed because you can't see the way out, but I tell you, not every door needs to be in front of your eyes to exist. Some doors I prepare while you are still learning to trust. Look at David. Before facing the giant, he faced anonymity. Before he was recognized before everyone, he learned to remain faithful when no one was looking. The lonely field was not the end of David. It was the place where his courage was formed. Verse. We know that all things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8:28. You think you are trapped by the environment, but I tell you that no environment has the power to stop what I am doing within you. Men may limit spaces, circumstances may delay plans, but no one can interrupt that which is born of my will. I'm not limited by where you are. I don't depend on the conditions around you to act. I turn deserts into paths, valleys into schools, and moments of loss into places of growth. My child, do not allow the appearance of the now to steal your perception of what I am already building in the invisible, because the environment where you are today does not define where I am already conducting your history. My son, write, Lord, I believe. And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My beloved son, there is a prison which cannot be seen by human eyes, but which often weighs more than any chain. You think the greatest prison is in the circumstances around you, but I tell you, often the deepest battle takes place within your own soul. I see places inside you where fear has tried to build walls. I see thoughts that have been repeated so many times that they have begun to seem true. I see words that have been hurled at you and have taken root in insecurity, making you forget who I say you are. You think you are limited by your past, but I tell you, your past has no authority to define your identity. You think your mistakes wrote the last chapter, but I tell you, my grace is still writing pages you didn't even imagine. The prison of fear makes you look at an open door and see only risks. The prison of guilt makes you look at me and imagine distance. The prison of comparison makes you look at the path of others and believe that yours has no value. But I did not create you to live bound by these invisible chains. I didn't just come to change what's on the outside. I came to touch what no one can achieve. I have come to liberate your consciousness, restore your perception, and reveal anew the image I have placed within you. You think that you must first become perfect in order to draw closer to me. But I tell you, it is when you draw closer to me that transformation begins. You think you need to hide your wounds, but I tell you, I already know every one of them, and I am touching the very places you have tried to protect for so many years. Verse: you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. My truth does not come to condemn you. My truth comes to break the lies that have kept your soul trapped. When you believe that it is not enough, I remind you that you were created by my hands. When you believe you have been forgotten, I remind you that I have never stopped looking at you. You think that a lack of confidence in yourself is just a trait of yours, but I tell you, it is often a seed of lies planted in a land that needed my light. I'm already illuminating hidden thoughts. I am already revealing old beliefs that prevented you from walking freely. I'm already removing weights that you've carried around for so long that you started to believe they were part of who you are. My child, do not continue to feed that which I am liberating. Do not continue to give voice to the accusations that I have never uttered about you. The voice that calls you incapable is not my voice. The voice that says it's over isn't my voice. I am calling you to come out of this inner place where you have hidden. I'm calling you to remember that there's more to you than the pains you faced. Allow my light to reach the deepest roots of your soul. Because when the truth comes in, no lie can stay in the same place. If this word has found a place within you, right, I am free in God. My beloved child, I know that some losses have hurt you deeply. I know there have been times when you have looked at something that has come out of your life and asked, why did you allow this to happen? I know this question that has been hidden in your heart. I know the longing, the frustration, and even the feeling that something precious was snatched from your hands. But I want to reveal something that your eyes still cannot see. You think that every loss was a defeat, but I tell you some losses were deliverances that you have not yet understood. You think something has been taken away from you, but I tell you, many times I was removing that which could hurt your soul in a deeper place. You wept through doors that closed, but I knew the path that lay behind them. You regretted some goodbyes, but I knew conversations, pains, and wounds that you never got to know. You looked at the absence and felt emptiness, but I was making room for something healthier to be born within you. My son, not every closed door means rejection. Some closed doors are protection. Some interruptions are my way of keeping you from walking to places that look beautiful on the outside but carry hidden destruction. You think you missed an opportunity, but I tell you, I was preserving your story. You think you have lost a person, a phase, or a path, but I tell you, some things had to come out so that your roots could grow without being suffocated. A tree does not grow when everything around it remains the same forever. There are leaves that need to fall for a new season to begin. There are branches that need to be pruned for new fruits to appear. I also work like that in your life. I'm already touching memories that still cause pain. I'm already bringing understanding to moments that seemed meaningless. I am already revealing that what you have called abandonment was often my hand protecting you from something that your eyes could not perceive. Verse: the Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from now on, even forever. Psalm 121:8. You think that my protection always comes as a pleasant response, but I tell you, sometimes it comes as a farewell. Sometimes it arrives like a door that does not open. Sometimes it arrives as a path that simply disappears before your steps. But I see beyond the present moment. You see a torn page of your history. I see the whole book. You see a seed buried in darkness. I see the tree that is being formed under the earth. Do not allow a temporary loss to make you doubt my eternal care. Do not let what has come out of your hands make you forget that your life remains safe in my hands. I am already transforming old pains into wisdom. I am already using difficult experience to strengthen your faith. I'm already showing that not everything that went away should remain. Time will reveal what remains hidden today. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My beloved child, I know that silence is one of the places where your faith is most tested. I know there are times when you look up at the sky and ask why I haven't answered yet, why the door hasn't opened yet, why the scenery still looks the same. But I want to reveal something to your soul. Silence has never meant absence. You think that when I don't answer immediately, I am far away, but I tell you, often I am working in a way that your eyes cannot yet perceive. You interpret the pause as abandonment, but I see the pause as preparation. You interpret waiting as forgetfulness, but I see waiting as a place where your confidence is being strengthened. My son, there is a battle going on for the way you see what you are experiencing. Because if you misinterpret the process, you may give up just at the moment when I am closest to acting. The enemy wants you to look at the silence and see rejection. It wants you to look at the delay and think that my promise has failed. It wants you to look at the night and conclude that the dawn will never come. But I tell you, don't confuse silence with absence. A seed remains hidden underground, but that doesn't mean it's dead. On the contrary, it is in that hidden place that life begins to emerge. You think nothing is happening. But I tell you, there are movements happening in the invisible. I am strengthening your soul, adjusting your perception, and preparing your heart to understand that which you could not carry before. Look at the people before the Red Sea. When they were surrounded by fear, it seemed that there was no way out. Behind them was the enemy. In front was the sea. To human eyes, it was the end. But while they saw impossibility, I was already preparing the way where no one imagined there was a way. Before the resurrection, many believed that all hope was ended. They saw a cross, they saw a grave, and they thought that history had come to an end. But what seemed like closure was the beginning of a greater revelation. Verse, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. My son, I don't need to make noise to prove that I am present. I don't need to reveal all the details to show that I'm taking care of you. My presence does not depend on what your eyes can see. You think you need answers to continue trusting, but I tell you, it is trust that opens your eyes to perceive the answers that are already coming. I'm already working in places you can't reach. I'm already organizing paths that you don't know yet. I am already tapping your mind to remove fearful thoughts and bringing peace to areas where anxiety has tried to dominate. The maturity of your soul is born when you learn to stand firm, even without controlling all the details. Because when you trust me in silence, your faith ceases to depend on circumstances and begins to rest in who I am. My son, state in the comments, I get that word, and by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My beloved child, for too long you have tried to become what you were expected to be. You have carried weights that have not been placed by me. You have worn names that have never been part of the identity that I have prepared for your life. You heard voices telling you who you should be, and you gradually began to believe in words that never came out of my mouth. You think it is what they said about you, but I tell you, you are what I declared, before the world even knew your name. I saw when they called you incapable. I saw when they made you believe it wasn't enough. I saw when they compared your walk to other people's walk and made you feel like you were always behind. But my gaze has never changed on you. Men see moments. I see the essence. You look back on a difficult phase and think that it has revealed its weakness, but I tell you, many times it has only revealed a part of you that needed to be strengthened. You look at your faults and think that they define your worth, but I tell you, your faults have no authority to erase that which I have placed within you. Look at Gideon. He hid himself, believing himself to be small and incapable of accomplishing what was before him. He looked at his family and his limitations and thought he couldn't do anything great. But when I looked at him, I didn't just see the man hiding. I saw the man who was being formed. I called him brave before he saw courage within himself. You think you must first feel strong to walk, but I tell you, often strength is born as you respond to my call. Look at Simon. He knew the nets, he knew the sea, he knew his profession. He perhaps thought that his story would be limited to what his hands could do. But I looked beyond the surface. I saw Peter. I saw a rock where others saw only a fisherman. So also I look at you. I'm not stuck with the old version you created about yourself. I'm not limited by the mistakes you've made or the opinions you've received. I am already restoring the way you see your own existence. Verse: if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Before changing that which is around you, I transform that which is within you. Because a new reality needs to be sustained by a new consciousness. You think you need a new opportunity, but I tell you, first I am forming a new vision within your soul. You think you need only an open door, but I tell you, I am preparing your eyes to recognize the door when it appears. I'm already undoing old images you've created about yourself. I'm already removing roots of insecurity and planting real seeds. I'm already playing places where you've become accustomed to believing lies. My son, you were not born to live bound by an identity that I never gave you. You were not created to walk carrying names that diminish what I have placed in you. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who need to hear the most, who have not been forgotten. My beloved child, you often believe that the answer has not come because you have not yet seen a great change before your eyes. You look for a huge door opening, a sign that is impossible to ignore, something that makes your whole heart rest immediately. But I want to reveal something deeper to you. My answer is not always accompanied by noise. You think the door is closed, but I tell you, often what needs to be opened first is your look. There are things that I have already set before you, but anxiety has made you go through them without realizing it. You are looking for great manifestation, while I am talking through small details. You expect a great light in the sky, but I am already turning on small lights on the way to guide your steps. My son, anxiety tries to convince you that only that which is great has value. It makes you believe that if there is no immediate change, nothing is happening. But I tell you, a seed does not have to appear on the surface to be alive. Before a tree offers shade, its roots are already working in the silence of the earth. I'm already acting in places that you consider too small to be important. I'm using conversations, thoughts, memories, and simple moments to touch your soul. I'm bringing direction through paths that you almost ignored because you expected something different. You think you need to hear my voice at a great event, but I tell you, I often speak in the silence that soothes your heart. Remember Elijah. He sought my manifestation in the strong wind, in the earthquake, and in the fire. He expected something grandiose, something that would immediately catch his attention. But I chose to speak through a soft voice, through a quiet moment where your heart needed to be attentive. Verse: after the fire came a quiet and gentle voice. 1 Kings 19:12. My son, not everything that transforms makes noise. Some of the biggest changes in your life started in places that no one noticed. A silent decision, a prayer said in secret, a renewed thought, a different choice when no one was looking. You think you are waiting for an answer, but I tell you, many times the answer has already started within you. I'm already adjusting your perception. I'm already removing the rush that prevented you from seeing. I am already teaching your soul to recognize my presence in the details. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't ignore the small signs. Don't think that what seems simple doesn't carry purpose. A small seed can carry a large forest. A small flame can illuminate an entire room. You think you need to find something extraordinary to be sure that I am near, but I tell you, my presence is already in the moments that you have found ordinary. Open your eyes to perceive that which has always been before you. Because when your gaze changes, what seemed like a closed door begins to reveal paths that were previously hidden. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My beloved son, the time has come when you need to understand something that you have long tried to avoid. There are times when the call needs to find a response, not because my love for you has diminished, but because the purpose I have placed within you continues to move forward. You think I'm waiting for you to become perfect, but I tell you, I have never sought human perfection. I seek an available heart. You think you need to resolve all your insecurities before you walk, but I tell you, many of your insecurities are overcome as you walk with me. The road reveals what immobility can never show. Look at Moses. He looked at himself and saw limitations. He remembered his past, his mistakes, and his difficulties. He said he was not capable, that he did not know how to speak, that he was not prepared. But when I looked at Moses, I didn't just see the man who was afraid. I saw the one who would carry a mission. You think that your fear disqualifies you, but I tell you, fear does not cancel the call. Fear only reveals that you need to rely on a force greater than your own. I didn't call Moses because he had all the answers. I called him because he was willing to hear my voice. My son, how many times have I touched your heart and you have replied, I am not ready yet? How many times have you felt a direction within your soul but left it for later because you were waiting for a time when everything would be perfect? You think that waiting a little longer will bring more security, but I tell you, some answers only appear after you decide to obey. The seed never discovers its strength while it remains guarded. It needs to be placed on the ground. She needs to break through the darkness. She must rely on the invisible process before she reaches the light. I have already placed seeds inside you. I have already planted desires, capacities, and dreams that carry marks of what I have prepared for your life. But a stopped seed does not fulfill its purpose. You think you're protecting your future by avoiding risk, but I tell you, sometimes you're just protecting that which needs to be transformed. I'm not calling you to a path without challenges. I am calling you to a path where my presence will be greater than any challenge. Peter was also afraid. He got out of the boat and walked on the water, but at a certain point he looked at the force of the wind and began to sink. Even so, I have not forsaken Peter. I reached out my hand and continued to form a deeper faith in him. I'm already working on you while you decide. I am already strengthening your consciousness, healing your doubts, and preparing your soul to answer the call that lies before you. My son, do not wait until you completely lose your fear, because courage is not born from the absence of fear. Courage is born when you choose to trust me, even though you are afraid. Do not stop now, my child. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment. My dearly beloved child, I know there are times when you look at your life and feel that nothing is happening. You look at the terrain around you, and because you don't see fruit, you believe that the seed has been lost. But I tell you, what your eyes cannot see does not mean that it is still. You think the earth is empty, but I tell you there is life happening beneath the surface. There are roots going deep into places where no one can touch. There is empowerment happening in a part of your story that has not yet appeared to the world. My son, you measure your journey by what you can show, but I lead your life by what needs to remain. A strong tree does not begin with the fruit. Before offering shade, she must learn to stand firm. Before it can endure storms, it needs to deepen its roots. Before it can grow upwards, it needs to grow downwards. So also I am working in you. You think this phase is a senseless delay, but I tell you, what you call waiting, I call preparation. You think you are wasting time, but I tell you, I am preparing ground within your soul so that what comes does not destroy you. Because a blessing without roots can become a burden. A door opened ahead of time can reveal a structure that is not yet prepared to support it. I'm already strengthening areas that you don't notice. I'm already dealing with old thoughts. I'm already removing hidden insecurities. I'm already working on parts of your identity that need to be grounded before you go to new places. Verse: Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. For he will be like a tree planted by the waters. Jeremiah 17:7-8. My son, a tree planted near the waters does not depend only on the rain of a moment. It has a constant source that sustains its roots. So I want your soul to be in me. Not just seeking answers when everything seems difficult, but staying connected to the source that keeps you going. You think you need to see results to believe that I am acting. But I tell you, true faith learns to recognize my hand before it sees my complete work. Look at a seed. No one applauds a buried seed. No one sees the effort that goes on inside the earth. But it is exactly there that a transformation begins that will change the entire landscape. I'm already working where no one can see. I'm using your experiences to create depth. I'm using your tears to water places that were dry. I'm using quiet moments to strengthen a trust that doesn't depend solely on circumstances. My son, do not despise the invisible process. Do not abandon the earth just because you do not yet see the tree. Do not give up on what I am forming just because the fruit has not yet appeared. What remains hidden today will be sustained by the roots that I am already strengthening now. And the deeper these roots are, the firmer will be the life I am building within you. My beloved son, I know that there is a question that often visits your mind. Have I wasted my time? You look at the years that have passed, the opportunities that didn't happen, and the paths that seem to have taken longer than you expected. But I want to touch your consciousness with a truth that changes the way you see your story. You look at lost time, but I look at redeemed time. You think you are late, but I tell you, my purpose has never been tied to the human clock. Man counts days, years, and seasons. I see processes, maturation, and moments prepared according to what your soul needs to live. You think something should have happened before, but I tell you, if it had happened before, maybe you still didn't have the structure to stay where I wanted to put you. My son, you weren't just expecting a change of scenery. You were being prepared to sustain a new reality. Look at Moses. For many years he believed that his story had diminished. He passed through the desert, far from the palaces and far from the recognition he once knew. Perhaps he thought that the best years were behind him. But I was using that time to form within him patience, humility, and dependence. When many thought that Moses' story was over, I was just preparing the beginning of his greatest mission. You think your years have been wasted, but I tell you, nothing I allow in your walk is empty when you are in my hands. Look at Sarah. She looked at her age and saw impossibility. She looked at the circumstances and laughed at the promise. But I did not look at the human limit. I looked at my word. Verse: For everything there is a right time. There is a right time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. My son, the time that seemed to stand still was loaded with invisible movements. I'm already lining up encounters, thoughts, and paths that seemed disconnected. I'm already using old experiences to prepare new decisions. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. You think you have been left behind, but I tell you, I was deepening your roots. Because a tree that grows too fast may not be able to withstand the strong winds. Some buildings need a deep base before they can reach great heights. Dawn never comes before the appointed time. The seed does not break through the earth before completing its hidden process. Spring does not appear because someone demands it, but because there is a prepared cycle. So also I am leading your walk. I am already restoring your view of the past. I am already healing the sadness for the years you believe you have lost. I'm already showing that some waits were protection and that some delays were preparation. Don't let comparison steal your peace. Someone else's story doesn't set the clock of your life. I don't write stories the same. I know the path I have prepared for you. That word didn't come to you by chance. Write in the comments, "I trust God," and let that be your act of faith for me today. My dearly beloved child, I know that for too long you have tried to protect versions of yourself that no longer belong to the purpose I have placed within you. You held on to old stories, carried painful memories, and continued to use names that were given by people but never came out of my mouth. You think that losing certain versions of yourself means failing, but I tell you, it is often the sign that I am freeing you from weights that were never yours. You think you are leaving something behind, but I tell you, I am removing that which prevented you from walking freely. Some things you call identity were just armor created to survive difficult times. My son, I see how many times you have had to be strong when inside you were tired. I see how many times you've tried to prove yourself to people who never fully saw who you were. I see how many times you have sought approval and acceptance, trying to reach a place that I had already prepared for you. But I have never looked at you through the labels that have been put on your life. I don't see you as the one who failed. I don't see you as the one who stayed behind. I don't see you as the one who didn't make it. I see that which I have formed before your eyes even knew this world. Verse. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you. Jeremiah 1:5. You think that your story began in your pains, but I tell you, your story began in my purpose. The wounds came later, the opinions came later, the fears came later. But before all this, I already knew your essence. Just as a seed needs to break through its own shell to reveal the life it carries within it, you also need to let some old definitions die in order for the new consciousness to flourish. The seed does not understand the process of rupture. She may feel the pressure of the earth around her, but what seems like an end is just the path to a new way of existing. I'm already undoing invisible fortresses within your mind. I'm already touching thoughts that made you believe that you were too small. I'm already bringing light to places where insecurity has tried to take deep root. You think you need to go back to who you were before, but I tell you, I'm not taking you back. I am leading you to that which I always planned you to become. The old man tries to maintain authority over his consciousness because he knows his fears, but my truth reveals an identity greater than your memories. I'm already restoring the way you see yourself. I'm already removing layers of guilt, comparison, and rejection. I am already showing that you need not carry that which I have never placed on your shoulders. The new begins when the old loses authority within you. When the old voices cease to rule your soul, my voice begins to occupy the place that has always belonged to me. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it. I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you heard what's next. My dearly beloved child, I know that you often expect to hear my voice in a great way. You imagine that you will need a great sign, something impossible to ignore, an event that makes all doubts disappear. But I want to reveal something to your soul. I don't always speak through what makes noise. You think I'm silent, but I tell you, I'm already talking about the details that you have almost missed. I speak through small movements. I speak through a peace that comes when everything around seems confusing. I speak through a door that has closed and prevented a path you did not know. I speak through a word that finds your heart at exactly the moment you needed to listen. None of this happens without my presence. You think that coincidences drive your story, but I tell you, there are details that bear my signature. There are simple moments that seem small to human eyes but have meaning in the invisible world. My son, you are so used to looking for the extraordinary that you often do not perceive the sacred hidden in everyday life. You expect me to move mountains, but sometimes I start by moving something within you. You expect me to change everything around you, but I start by changing your perception so that you see what is already happening. I am already touching your consciousness. I am already awakening a spiritual sensitivity that allows me to perceive my direction in the small signs. I am already teaching your soul to recognize my voice in the midst of so many other voices trying to get your attention. Remember Elijah? He was expecting a powerful demonstration. He saw the strong wind, felt the force of the earthquake, and watched the fire. But I was not limited to these manifestations. I chose to reveal my presence through a small voice, a whisper that demanded attention and intimacy. Verse. After the fire came the whisper of a gentle breeze. Frus, Kings 19:12. My son, the invisible, almost always, speaks softly. The world teaches you to look for that which impresses the eye, but I teach you to perceive that which transforms the soul. A root growing underground doesn't make any noise. A seed breaking through its shell does not announce its birth. Dawn begins quietly, before the first ray of light appears. Also I work. You think you need big answers to go on, but I tell you, many times I've already given the direction through small steps. You think you are waiting for a new word, but I tell you, perhaps you are still learning to obey that which I have already placed before you. I don't just want you to see my works. I want you to recognize my presence. Because when you learn to listen to my whisper, you stop depending on the noise of the world to make sure I'm near. When your soul learns to perceive my voice, even the silent days become places of encounter with me. I am already present in the details that you called small. I'm already taking care of paths that you can't follow. I am already revealing my goodness in moments that you thought were ordinary. I've been good at your life in ways you haven't even noticed. Write in the comments, Amen, and proclaim with me my goodness over you, my beloved child. I know places within you that no one else knows. I know thoughts you never uttered, memories you tried to hide, and pains you learned to carry in silence. Before anyone noticed her tears, I already knew the weight her soul was bearing. You think that only your attitudes need to change, but I tell you, I am reaching the root of your wounds. Many times you try to correct only that which appears, but I see that which is hidden. You try to change behaviors, but I am touching the marks that gave rise to them. For I do not only treat bitter fruits, I take care of the soil where these seeds were planted. My son, some reactions that you don't understand were born from pains that you never resolved. Some choices were influenced by words that hurt his identity. Some barriers were built because one day you needed to protect yourself. But I am not coming to condemn you for what has happened. I am coming to restore that which has been broken. You think you need to hide your fragile parts in order to be accepted by me. But I tell you, I already know everything you try to hide, and even though I know, I keep calling you close. Verse. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. Psalm 139:23. My child, when I reveal something within you, it is not to be ashamed. My light does not come in to destroy. My light comes in to heal. I do not illuminate their wounds to point out their mistakes, but to bring life to the places that have been trapped in darkness. You think that some memories need to be buried forever, but I tell you, that which remains hidden continues to find ways to influence your walk. I am bringing light to regions of your soul that have been closed for years. I'm already touching old memories. I am already bringing peace to moments that still caused pain. I'm already showing that what happened to you doesn't have to keep controlling who you become. A hidden root can feed an entire tree. If the root is diseased, the fruits will be affected. But when the root is cared for, the whole tree begins to regain its strength. So it is with your soul. You think that your struggle is only against what is happening today, but I tell you, many times the battle began in ancient places that still needed my presence. I'm entering these places, not with condemnation, but with love. I am restoring your perception, renewing your mind, and strengthening your identity. What you have called weakness, I am transforming into maturity. What you have called a scar, I am turning into a testimony. What you have called the end, I am revealing as a place where my healing began. Do not be afraid to allow my presence to reach into the depths of your soul. I don't take something away from you to leave a void. I remove what hurts to fill with what brings life. What I am already touching today will no longer control your tomorrow. This message is not for everyone, my son. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My dearly beloved child, I know how much you try to understand all the paths before you walk. I know how your mind searches for answers, organizes possibilities, and tries to predict every detail to avoid surprises. You want to be sure of everything before you take a step, because many times the unknown has brought fear to your heart. But I want to reveal something profound to you. You think you need to control everything to stay safe, but I tell you, true safety has never been in control of circumstances. True security has always been in knowing that I support you even when your hands cannot hold anything. You try to carry weights that were never meant to stay on your shoulders. You try to solve tomorrow with the forces of today. You try to see through all the pages of the story while I am conducting each chapter at the right time. My son, you think that if you lose control, everything will be out of place. But I tell you, before you knew each path, I already knew each curve. Before you realized each need, I was already taking care of the details that you didn't even know existed, just as no one sees the sun in the early hours of the morning, but knows that it continues to shine beyond the darkness. My faithfulness remains even when their eyes cannot see. The night does not turn off the sun. Silence does not erase my presence. Waiting does not extinguish my care. Verse, commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do everything. Psalm 37:5. My son, surrendering does not mean giving up. Surrendering means recognizing that there is a greater force driving what you cannot achieve. It is to place in my hands that which your tired hands can no longer sustain. You call control that which is often born of fear. You think you're just trying to put your life together, but I tell you, often your heart is trying to avoid a greater dependence on me. I don't want to take away your responsibility. I want to take away the weight that is destroying your peace. I'm already sustaining situations that exceed their capacity. I am already working on paths that have not yet appeared before your eyes. I am already preparing answers before you can even formulate all the questions. You look to the future and feel insecure because you don't know what lies ahead. But I look into the future and see that which is already in my hands. A child holds his father's hand without knowing the whole road. She doesn't need to know every detail of the path to keep walking. She only trusts the one who leads her. So also I'm leading you. You think you need to know everything to rest, but I tell you, true rest is born when you understand that I know everything. I'm already taking care of the seeds you planted. I'm already strengthening roots that seemed fragile. I'm already protecting ports that you don't even know exist. The entire universe remains under my word. The stars follow their paths, the seas obey the boundaries I have set, and the entire creation responds to my voice. Its history also remains. Even when you don't understand, I'm still God. Even when you don't see, I go on working. Even when your strength wanes, my hand continues to sustain you. My dearly beloved child, I know that there are times when you look back and feel that you have lost so much along the way. You remember people who left, opportunities that didn't happen, plans that changed, and paths that simply ceased to exist. His heart tried to understand why some things needed to leave his life, but I want to reveal something that your pain has not yet been able to see. You think you have lost a lot, but I tell you many times I'm just revealing what really belongs to your walk. Not everything that passes through your life was sent to stay in it. Some things come to teach, some come to strengthen, some come to prepare you for a new season. But that which has no root in the purpose I have set must be removed so that something deeper can grow. You think that every farewell is a rejection, but I tell you, some farewells are protection. You think that every closed door is a loss, but I tell you, some doors have had to close to prevent you from remaining in places that would limit what I am forming in you. Look at a tree during a storm. The wind blows away dry leaves, but it does not destroy a tree that has deep roots. That which has no strength to remain is taken away, but that which has life continues to grow. So I am working on your story. I am already separating what is temporary from what is eternal. I am already showing you what thoughts need to come out, what weights need to be left, and what paths need to be abandoned in order for your soul to find freedom. Some relationships had to end because they were impeding their growth. Some certainties had to fall because they were built on fragile foundations. Some dreams had to be transformed because I knew something bigger than what you could imagine. You think I was taking something from you, but I tell you I was making room. A house full of old things cannot receive something new without first going through a cleaning. So it also happens within you. I am already clearing grounds of your life where there was fear, attachment, and illusions that hindered your vision. Verse: Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Matthew 24:35. My son, everything that is built only by circumstances can change. People can change. Situations can change. Human plans can change. But that which I establish remains. The eternal never competes with the superficial. You think that you need to hold on to everything so as not to lose, but I tell you, some things need to be delivered in order for you to receive that which truly carries my will. I'm already working on the ground of your life. I am already removing stones that prevented its roots from reaching depth. I am already preparing a firmer foundation so that you will not be shaken by any wind. Do not allow a temporary loss to make you forget the eternal care I have for you. Because where my truth stands, no loss is final. What has left your hands has never been greater than what remains stored in mine. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My beloved son, I know the parts of you that you try to hide. I know the insecurities you keep quiet, the moments when you look at your limitations and think they hold you back from moving forward. I know the areas where you feel that you are not enough, where you believe that you need to be stronger, more prepared, or more capable to finally fulfill what I have put before you. But I want to reveal something that completely changes the way you see your weakness. You think that your weakness is a hindrance, but I tell you, it is often precisely in this that my strength begins to be revealed. You try to hide that which you consider a flaw, but I am not afraid of your limitations. You try to present only your strong parts, but I already know every part of your story. And even though I know your frailties, I continue to work on you. My son, I never needed your perfection to act. I never expected you to have all the answers, all the skills, or all the courage before walking with me. You think you need to come before me as someone who has never fallen, but I tell you, I work through those who recognize that they need me. Look at Gideon. He looked at his origin and saw smallness. He looked at his family and his condition and believed that he was not worth enough to carry out a great mission. But when I looked at Gideon, I didn't just see his limitations. I saw what my presence could do through him. I called him brave before he saw this strength within him. Look also at Paul. He carried a weakness that he wished would be removed. He asked for a change, but I revealed something deeper. My grace would be sufficient to sustain him. Verse: My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My son, you think you need to eliminate all your weaknesses in order to be used by me. But I tell you, some of them are there to remind you that your strength has never come from you alone. The tree does not grow strong because it has never faced winds. It grows strong because its roots have learned to stay firm during storms. So it is with your soul. I am already turning what you called inability into an opportunity to reveal my faithfulness. I am already using your experiences, your battles, and your marks to form a depth that could not be born from a life without challenges. You don't have to look strong before me. You need to remain available. I don't look for a perfect look. I look for an open heart. I am not looking for someone who is never afraid. I look for someone who chooses to trust even when they feel afraid. You think that your weakness makes you smaller, but I tell you, when it is given to me, it becomes the place where my strength flourishes. Pride tries to convince you that you need to walk alone, but humility allows my presence to sustain that which your own hands cannot carry. I'm already working inside you. I'm already strengthening places that seemed fragile. I am already turning your limitations into silent testimonies of my faithfulness. Because what you have called weakness can become the very place where others will see the greatness of what I do through a life surrendered to me. My dearly beloved son, I know that there are nights that seem too long. I know there are times when you look around and find no signs of change. You observe the circumstances, feel the weight of silence, and begin to believe that darkness has taken over everything. But I want to reveal something to your soul. You think the darkness is permanent, but I tell you, the dawn has already begun before the first ray of light has even appeared. The dawn never realizes exactly the instant when the morning arrives. For a while, everything continues to seem dark. The sky has not yet changed completely. The eyes cannot yet see the new season, but something is already happening. The light is approaching. So it is with my action in your life. You think nothing is changing because you can't see the results yet, but I tell you, there are movements happening in the invisible. There are seeds breaking through the earth. There are roots getting strength. There are paths being prepared before your eyes can contemplate. My son, you look at the process and you think you are abandoned, but I look at the process and I see a transformation happening. You think that your prayer has not been heard because the answer has not yet appeared. But I tell you, silence does not mean that I have stopped acting. Often, the biggest work happens before the demonstration. A seed does not show its tree on the first day. A child does not reveal his growth in a single moment. Everything that has life goes through stages that cannot be rushed. I'm already illuminating horizons that you can't see yet. I am already preparing your mind to recognize that which once seemed impossible. I am already bringing hope to places where you believed that there was only tiredness. Verse: weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Psalm 35. My son, notice that the promise does not say that the night would never exist. She reveals that the night has a limit. Darkness has a set time. Pain does not have the final word when I am conducting its history. You think that the absence of clarity means the absence of my presence, but I tell you, even during the night, I remain the light that sustains you. When you can't see the way, I keep seeing every step. When you can't find a way out, I keep knowing all the doors. When your strength seems small, my presence is still sufficient. I'm already working in areas that you consider lost. I am already restoring your hope. I'm already strengthening your faith, so that you don't depend only on what your eyes can confirm. My child, do not allow a dark season to make you forget my faithfulness. The night can hide the sun, but it can never prevent it from existing. Dawn is being formed while you are still watching the dawn. Keep trusting, because what I start in the unseen always finds a way to reach that which can be seen. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments. God cares for me, and prophesy this truth about your own life. My dearly beloved child, I know that you often try to prove your worth before me. You believe that you need to do more, get more right, and show that you are worthy of receiving my love. You carry a charge within your soul, as if you need to conquer something that I have already given by grace. But I want to reveal a truth that can set your heart free. You think you need to convince me to love you, but I tell you, my love for you was never born from your performance. Before his first victory, I already knew his entire story. Before his first hit, I already knew his fights. Before his first fall, my mercy was already prepared. You think that I approach you only when you manage to do everything right, but I tell you, I walk with you also in the moments when your strength runs out. My son, a father does not love his son only when he wins. True love remains in the days of conquest and in the days of difficulty. So is my care for you. You look at your failures and think they have changed the way I see you. But I tell you, your failures have never been greater than my grace. I know every part of your journey. I know the decisions you'd like to change, the words you'd like to erase, and the paths you'd like to retrace. But I also know the heart that keeps seeking my presence. I'm not looking for a perfect look. I'm looking for a sincere heart. You think you need to hide your weaknesses in order to remain close to me. But I tell you, it is precisely when you recognize your need that my presence finds room to act. Peter denied knowing Jesus in a moment of fear, but I did not define his life for that instant. I saw beyond the fall. I saw the man who was yet to be transformed. I saw a story that would continue to be written. So, also I look at you. You think that a difficult chapter represents the end of your story, but I tell you, one chapter never has the authority to define the entire book. I'm already restoring your confidence. I'm already healing the need for approval that has tired your soul. I'm already showing that you don't have to live, trying to reach a love that was never far away. My child, you do not need to run to deserve my presence. You just need to open your heart to receive it. A seed does not need to prove that it deserves to grow. It simply carries within it that which has been placed by the Creator. In the same way, there is something within you that I have planted that does not depend on people's opinions to exist. I'm already removing the guilt that kept you from walking. I'm already touching thoughts that made you believe you were less than you really are. My choice for you didn't start when you did something right. My choice began in my heart. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My beloved son, I know the marks that have remained in your soul. I know the memories that still carry weight, the words that hurt your heart, and the moments when you wondered why you had to go through certain situations. I see what you try to hide. I see the parts of your history that you'd like to erase. I see the scars that you look at and think are proof of failure, but I want to reveal something different to you. You think the pain has lessened you, but I tell you, some pains have only revealed a strength that you did not yet know. You look at the marks and you see loss, but I see witness. You look at the wounds and remember the suffering, but I see the grace that sustained you when your own strength was no longer sufficient. My son, I have not wasted any tears shed in secret. No difficult night has gone unnoticed before my eyes. No silent prayer was ignored. You think those moments broke your story, but I tell you, I was present even in the places where you thought you had been abandoned. Pain often reveals places in the soul that need healing. It shows roots that were hidden, thoughts that needed to be transformed, and parts of the heart that needed to receive light again. I didn't allow you to go through certain valleys to destroy you. I was forming depth. A tree that has faced strong winds is not a worthless tree. Often it is precisely the tree that has taken root deepest. She is still standing because she has learned to stand firm during storms. So also, I am working in you. You think your wounds are signs that you have lost, but I tell you, they can become places where my faithfulness will be revealed. Look at Joseph. He was rejected by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and taken to a place where it seemed his dreams were over. To human eyes, his story seemed like a sequence of losses. But I never lost control. While Joseph saw abandonment, I saw preparation. As he saw a prison, I saw a path being built. While he felt that he had been forgotten, I was forming in him the maturity that would sustain a greater position. Verse: You meant evil against me, but God made it good, to do as it is this day, to keep many people alive. Genesis 50:20. My son, you think that some chapters of your life need to be hidden, but I tell you, I am already resignifying what you would like to erase. I do not change the past, but I transform the meaning that it carries within you. What once generated shame can become wisdom. That which once caused tears can become a source of compassion. That which tried to stop you can reveal the strength that I was building within you. Pain will not be the definition of your identity. It will be just one part of the story that reveals that my hand remained upon you even when you could not perceive it. I am already turning your wounds into sources of life. I'm already using that which seemed broken to show that no part of your story is outside of my care. My dearly beloved child, I know how people's silence can touch deep places within you. I know what it's like to feel that no one notices your struggle, no one recognizes your effort, and no one sees what you carry inside. But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to remember. You think you have been forgotten, but I tell you, you have never been out of my attention. You measure your worth by the applause you receive, the eyes you recognize, and the words people say about you. But I tell you, the value I have placed within you has never depended on human approval. There are things that grow away from the eyes. There are seeds that need to remain hidden before they appear as strong trees. There are processes that happen in silence because they need to create depth before achieving visibility. My son, the hidden place is not an abandoned place. You think that being in a place where no one sees means that nothing is happening. But I tell you, it is often in this very place that I am forming that which will sustain your next station. Look at Joseph. For years he was far from the applause, away from his family, and far from those who could recognize his worth. He passed through places where no one imagined the future I had prepared for him. But the absence of men has never meant the absence of my presence. While Joseph was in simple places, I was working on his character. While he was facing difficult times, I was strengthening his wisdom. While he seemed forgotten, I was preparing the man who would step into a position of great responsibility. Look at David. Before he was seen as king, he was known only as the one who tended the sheep in the field. Before the crown, there was the silence of the pasture. Before recognition, there was fidelity when no one was looking. You think the field was too small for David, but I tell you, that field was a school where his soul was being prepared. Verse, the Lord does not see as man sees. Man sees what is before his eyes, but the Lord looks on the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. My son, men observe results, but I observe roots. Men see moments, but I know processes. Men evaluate what appears, but I work on what remains. You think that the desert is a place of abandonment, but I tell you, often the desert is the place where your roots find depth. I am already forming within you what will be necessary to sustain what is in front of your journey. I am already strengthening your patience, your faith, and your conscience. Don't despise the days when no one notices your growth. A tree does not only grow when its leaves appear, it also grows when its roots go deep into the earth. I'm already working in the places where no one sees you. I'm already taking care of details that you can't keep up with. I am already preparing an inner structure that will be more important than any outer recognition. The silence of men has never meant the absence of my presence. There is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name. My dearly beloved child, I know that many times you look back at your history and believe that what happened to you has become who you are. You look at the losses, the mistakes, the words you heard, and the marks that remained, and you begin to believe that these moments have the authority to define your identity. But I want to reveal something deeper to your heart. You think that is what has happened to you, but I tell you, you are what I have declared about you. Circumstances may touch your life, but they have no power to change the value I have placed within you. People may try to put names upon their walk, but no name given by man is greater than the identity I established even before his birth. You think a fall changed everything, but I tell you, a fall is never greater than my ability to restore. Look at Peter. He walked with me, heard my voice, and saw miracles happen before his eyes. Yet, in a moment of fear, he denied that he knew me. He could have allowed that moment to define his entire story. He could have believed that his mistake was greater than his calling. But I didn't look at Peter just through that instant. While he saw failure, I saw transformation. While he saw shame, I saw someone who would still be used to strengthen many others. You may have failed, my child, but your purpose has not disappeared. You think that a mistake has erased all that I have built in you. But I tell you, my grace reaches places where your guilt tries to trap you. The fall reveals their humanity, but my grace reveals their restoration. Verse. Arise, shine, for your light is coming, and the glory of the Lord is rising upon you. Isaiah 61. I'm already reconstructing thoughts that have been broken. I'm already restoring dreams that you abandoned. I'm already touching parts of your soul that you no longer believed could flourish again. You think that some old versions of you are permanent, but I tell you I'm still working on your transformation. The enemy tries to turn moments into permanent identities. He tries to make you believe that a difficult phase represents your entire destiny. He tries to make you look at a wound and call it a name. But I don't see you for your worst memory. I see you for the purpose I have placed within your existence. An injured tree can still produce fruit. A wounded earth can still receive new seeds. A story marked by pain can yet reveal my faithfulness. You think that what you have lost has destroyed your ability to start over. But I tell you, I am already creating new paths within you. I am rebuilding your consciousness. I am renewing your vision. I am removing the thoughts that made you believe that you were less than what I prepared. My child, do not allow what has happened to you to have more voice than what I say about you. Your story didn't end where you fell. His identity was not born of his pain. You are not just what has survived. You are that which my hand keeps forming in silence. My dearly beloved child, I know there are times when you look at your life and wonder why some things have not changed yet. You observe the season in which you are living and feel that time is passing without bringing what your heart expects. But I want to reveal something that your eyes still cannot comprehend. You think you are wasting time, but I tell you, I am already preparing the soil for your flowering. You look at the dark earth and think that nothing is happening, but I tell you, not everything that is hidden is dead. Often, it is in the place where no one sees that the greatest transformation begins. A buried seed does not seem to have a future to human eyes. It disappears underground, stays away from the light, and undergoes a silent process. But within it, there is a life that is being awakened. So also I'm working in you. You think that this phase is just a meaningless wait, but I tell you, this season is forming roots that will be necessary to sustain that which is being built within you. Before the leaves appear, there is an invisible movement going on. Before the fruit is seen, there is a deep preparation going on inside the tree. My son, you want to see results, but I am strengthening foundations. You wish to see doors opened, but I am preparing your ability to walk through them. You desire to receive answers, but I am maturing your soul to understand the value of that which will be delivered. Dark soil does not mean abandonment. It often means growth. You think that the lack of outer change reveals an absence of my action, but I tell you, I work first in the depths before I reveal anything on the surface. I am already strengthening your perseverance. I'm already maturing your vision. I am already preparing your consciousness to carry what you have asked for in prayer. Because some things you want to receive require a stronger version of you to stay in your hands. Verse: He who walks and weeps while he sows will return with joy with his sheaves. Psalm 126:6. My son, I know every tear that fell as you continued sowing. I know every moment you did the right thing even without seeing immediate results. I know the times when you stood your ground when it would be easier to give up. You think that no one has seen your effort, but I have seen it. You think your seeds have been forgotten on earth, but I tell you, no surrender made in faith disappears before me. The farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing. He trusts the process. He knows that there is a certain time between planting and harvesting, so also I'm teaching your soul to trust. The root time is just as important as the fruit time. A tree without deep roots may grow quickly, but it doesn't stay when the winds come. I'm creating depth in you. I'm strengthening places that need to stand firm. I'm preparing an inner structure that will be bigger than what people can see. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, God has chosen me. And live that truth every day. My dearly beloved child, I know that some closed doors have left marks on your heart. I know that you looked at opportunities that didn't happen, paths that disappeared, and answers that didn't come. And for a moment you thought I had allowed a rejection. But I want to reveal something that your pain has not yet been able to see. You think the closed door was a rejection, but I tell you, it has often been a protection. You wept for what you did not receive. But I knew what you could not see. You regretted an entrance that didn't open, but I saw the whole way beyond that door. My son, not every opportunity that seems perfect carries the purpose I have prepared for you. There are paths that shine to the eye but hide dangers to the soul. There are doors that seem like answers, but they could take you away from what really matters. There are places where you would receive what you asked for, but lose what you needed to preserve. You think you have missed a chance, but I tell you, sometimes I was preventing a greater loss. I know consequences that you have never seen. I know encounters that could hurt your walk. I know environments that could weaken your roots. I know desires that seemed urgent, but that were not aligned with the growth I was forming in you. You look at a closed door, and you see absence, but I see care. Look at Jesus in the garden. He asked for the cup to pass because at that moment the pain was real, the weight was real, the suffering before him was real. But even in the face of what seemed difficult to understand, there was a greater trust in the Father's will. So, also I teach you to trust. The answer you receive is not always the one you expected, but it always reveals something about my care. Verse: the Lord establishes the steps of a good man and delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. My son, your steps are not lost. You may feel that you are standing still, but I am already guiding movements that take place in the invisible. I'm already adjusting paths. I'm already protecting decisions. I am already preparing meetings and opportunities that are in line with what strengthens your life. You think you need to run after any open door before it's too late, but I tell you, anxiety tries to push you to places where my direction has not yet led. The right door will not depend on your desperation. It will not depend on the fear of being left behind. It will not depend on the comparison with other people's walking. It will be aligned with that which I am forming within you. A child may want to touch something dangerous because they don't yet know the risk. A father holds her hand, not because he wants to prevent her joy, but because he sees what she cannot yet understand. So also I take care of you. I'm already guiding your steps when you feel like there's no movement. I'm already working on doors that you can't see yet. I am already preparing paths that will not be born of anxiety, but of my direction. My child, do not allow a closed door to make you doubt my love. Sometimes the greatest care is precisely in that which I have not allowed to remain. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Say, my beloved child, I know the moments when you look at other people's walks and begin to question the value of your own story. I know that quiet feeling of thinking everyone is moving forward while you stay in the same place. You observe achievements that are not yours, paths that are not yours, and times that were not written for you. Then your soul begins to carry a weight which I have never placed upon you, but I want to reveal something to your heart. You think you are late because you look at other people's walk, but I tell you, your journey was never created to follow the pace of someone else. Each tree has its own season for producing fruit. Each seed carries a different growth time. A flower doesn't have to become an oak tree to fulfill its purpose. An oak tree doesn't have to bloom at the same speed as a small plant to prove its worth. So is your life. You think that you must achieve that which someone else has achieved in order to have meaning. But I tell you, that which I have planted in you possesses a beauty that cannot be compared. My son, comparison tries to steal your vision. It makes you look so much at another's garden that you fail to notice the seeds that I have already placed on your own ground. You look at someone's fruits, but you don't see the roots that have been built in silence. You look at an achievement, but you don't know the battles that happened before it. You compare your preparation chapter to someone else's harvest chapter, but I see the whole story. Verse: each one examines his own acts, and then he will be able to boast of himself without comparing himself with anyone else. Galatians 6:4. My child, I am already restoring your ability to see your own calling. I am already healing the need to measure your worth through the lives of others. I am already bringing back the perception of that which I have formed within you. You think you have to be like someone else to be used by me, but I tell you, I have never created two stories exactly alike. I didn't put the same seed in every heart. I didn't give the same path to all people. I didn't graduate everyone with the same experiences, gifts, and processes. There is something in you that can only flourish when you stop trying to be a copy. A tree feels no shame for not producing the same fruit as another tree. It just remains connected to the source that sustains it. It grows in the place where it was planted. So I want you to live. You think you need to run to catch up with someone, but I tell you, Your greatest achievement will be to stay true to the path I have prepared for you. Stop measuring your life with a ruler that I never put in your hands. Stop calling what I call a process a delay. Stop despising small beginnings that carry great possibilities. I'm already working on your identity. I'm already strengthening your confidence. I am already showing that your value is not in comparison, but in what I have put within you. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine. By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My beloved child, I know that waiting often seems like a difficult place to stay. I know that there are times when you look at the path and ask why some answers have not yet arrived, why some changes have not yet happened, and why that which you have placed before me still seems to be silent. But I want to reveal something that your anxiety cannot see. You think that waiting is punishment, but I tell you, often waiting is the place where I am forming that which will sustain your next station. You desire quick answers, but I wish to form a prepared soul. You ask for a change of scenery, but I begin by transforming your heart, because there is no point in a new door opening for a person who does not yet have the structure to stay inside it. There is no point in receiving something great if the interior is not yet strengthened to carry it wisely. My son, you think that delay means that I have forgotten you. But I tell you, I do not delay that which I love. I prepare what I trust. A child can receive a large inheritance, but he must grow before he can administer what he has received. The problem was never the inheritance. The process was maturing. So it is with you. There are things that I am already forming within you, before your hands receive that which your heart desires. I'm strengthening your patience. I'm developing your confidence. I am teaching your soul to stand firm not only when all is well, but also when circumstances have not yet changed. Verse, the testing of your faith produces endurance. James 1:3. My son, I do not waste any moment of your walk. That which you call delay, I use as an invisible workshop. While you think nothing happens, I am working in deep areas that will be needed for the next steps. A tool needs to be prepared before it can be used. A root needs to grow before it can support a tree. A vase needs to be shaped before carrying something precious. So also I am shaping you. You think you are just waiting for an answer, but I tell you, you are being prepared for a responsibility. You think you are standing still, but I tell you there is growth going on within you. I'm already using every weight to strengthen your confidence. I am already revealing fears that needed to be healed. I'm already showing dependencies that needed to be delivered. I am already forming a maturity that will remain when circumstances change, because that which depends only on circumstances can disappear when they change, but that which I build within you remains. My son, do not despise silent processes. Don't despise the days when it seems like nothing is happening. The invisible has value. The roots do not appear, but they support the tree. The foundation is not seen, but supports the construction. The time in my hands is never wasted. Each weight has a purpose. Each process has a formation. Each station carries something that I am using to bring you closer to the person that I am creating in you. My beloved son, I know the voices that you have carried for years. I know words that have been said about you and that have remained echoing within your mind even after a long time. I know the phrases that hurt your identity, the judgments that made you doubt your worth, and the experiences that tried to convince you that it wasn't enough. But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to remember. You think that the voices of the past define your future, but I tell you, my voice possesses authority greater than any human word. People may have called you by names that have diminished your courage. They may have looked at your limitations and defined how far you could go. They may have seen only part of your story and come to conclusions about who you were. But I have never seen you that way. I see the essence I have put inside you. I see the purpose that remains even after the difficulties. I see life that is still flourishing behind layers of fear and insecurity. My son, some lies have taken root, deep within your mind. They grew silently, fueled by old experiences and moments of pain. Maybe you believed you couldn't do it, Perhaps he believed that he was not worthy of love. Maybe you thought that certain opportunities would never come back to you. But I tell you, these seeds were not planted by me. I didn't plant in you the idea that it's impossible to start over. I have not put within your soul a voice of condemnation. I didn't write a story of failure about you. I'm already pulling out roots of fear and planting real roots. Verse: do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 12:2. My child, the transformation begins when your consciousness begins to agree with what I say and not with what the wounds have said. You think you have to fight everything around you, but I tell you, many battles begin within thoughts. The way you see yourself influences the way you walk. That is why I'm already touching your mind. I'm already bringing light to thoughts that have become stuck in darkness. I'm already revealing lies that seem true only because they have been repeated many times. A hidden root can support an entire tree. If the root receives poison, the fruits will be affected. But when the root comes to life, the whole tree begins to change. So I am working on you. I am restoring your perception. I'm strengthening your identity. I am teaching you to look at yourself through my eyes. My truth doesn't just inform. My truth sets you free. It doesn't just come to show something new. It comes to break old chains. It comes to open doors within consciousness that have remained closed for too long. You are not what they said about you. You're not your worst moment. You are not the sum of your downfalls. You are someone that I continue to form, restore, and lead. Few get to this point in the message, my son. But you arrived, and that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My beloved child, I know the thoughts that visit your mind when you look back. I know those memories that still try to hold your heart in places you should have already left. I know of the times when you revisited mistakes, choices, and difficult moments, imagining that they had the power to determine the rest of your story. But I want to reveal something that can free your soul. You think your past is a sentence, but I tell you, your past will never be greater than my ability to restore. You look at old chapters and believe that they define the entire book. You look at a page marked by pain and think that the whole story has lost its meaning. But I tell you, I'm still writing. The man sees a torn page. I see a history being rebuilt. You think your mistakes have canceled your purpose. But I tell you, no mistake is greater than my grace when a heart surrenders to me. Look at Moses. He carried the weight of a decision from the past. He knew guilt, he knew regret, and he knew the feeling of having left something behind. He could have believed that his greatest flaw would be his forever identity. But I didn't look at Moses just for what he did. I looked at what I would still do through him. The desert that seemed like an end became a place of preparation. The time that seemed lost became a school where his soul was strengthened. So also I look at you. You think that what happened before prevents what can happen now. But I tell you, I am able to turn difficult chapters into testimonies of my faithfulness. Look at Paul. Before carrying my message, he persecuted those who followed the path of faith. To human eyes, his story seemed marked by guilt and condemnation, but I saw beyond his past. I didn't ignore his story. I redeemed your story. Verse: behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it will come forth into the light. Do you not perceive it? Behold, I will set a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the wilderness. Isaiah 43:19. My son, I am already creating possibilities where you only see limitations. I am already opening paths within your consciousness so that you stop living stuck in what was left behind. You think you need to go back to the past to make everything right, but I tell you, I am working in the present to transform your future. The past may explain some wounds, but it will never have the authority to define your identity. A tree may have weathered storms, lost branches, and carried wind scars, but its roots can still produce new fruit. In the same way, his life has not lost its value because of the marks he carries. I'm already restoring your sight. I'm already healing the guilt that tried to dominate your soul. I'm already showing that you're not just what happened to you. You are what I keep forming in you. Do not allow old voices to have more strength than my promise. Do not allow a difficult phase to have more authority than my presence. Because when I write a new chapter, no old page can stop what I am doing. My dearly beloved son, I know that many times you want to see the whole road before you take the first step. You want to know every detail, every turn, and every destination before you start walking. You try to understand the whole plan to feel safe, but I want to teach something deep to your heart. You think you have to find the way on your own, but I tell you, I am already guiding you step by step. You seek a complete vision, but I often reveal only what you need for the present moment. Not because I hide anything from you, but because I know the weight you can carry in each season. A child learns to walk by holding his father's hand. She doesn't need to know the whole road to keep advancing. She only trusts the one who is leading her steps. So also I am leading you. You think you need to know everything to trust, but I tell you, trust is born just when you continue, even without knowing all the details. Abraham left his land without knowing the complete destination. He did not receive a map with all the paths drawn. He received a promise and a direction. He walked because he trusted my voice more than the need to control each step. You think that the lack of complete answers means a lack of direction, but I tell you, often my direction is in the next step, not in the vision of the whole journey. The light I deliver today is enough for today's journey. My son, you don't have to carry the weight of tomorrow while you're still living in the present. I'm already in the place you try to reach with your worry. I already know what has not yet appeared before your eyes. You try to predict every scenario because you fear being overwhelmed by pain. But I tell you, no surprise is greater than my ability to care for you. I'm already preparing paths that you still can't see. I'm already lining up dates, strengthening your mind, and bringing clarity to decisions that seemed confusing. You think you're walking without direction, but I tell you, even small steps are part of the building. A seed does not know the tree it will be. It only responds to the process for which it was created. First it takes root, then it breaks through the earth, then it grows towards the light. So also I am working in your life. I am strengthening its roots before revealing new fruit. I am forming your consciousness before I put you before new doors. I am teaching your soul to depend less on what you see and more on the one who leads your steps. Verse: your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. My son, do not despise today's step, waiting for tomorrow's revelation. You often find your way as you walk with me. I'm already guiding you through the details. I'm already sustaining your steps when you feel insecure. I am already present in every little decision handed over to me. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, I trust in God's action. My beloved child, I know that many times you have looked at the silence and interpreted it as if I were distant. I know there have been times when you have looked up and asked why I did not answer, why the change had not yet happened, and why the path continued to look the same. But I want to reveal something that your soul needs to understand. You have interpreted my silence as distance, but I tell you, many times silence has been the environment where I have prepared that which your eyes were not yet ready to contemplate. You asked, when? But I was working on the how. You counted the days of waiting, but I was strengthening the invisible structures of your soul. You watched time go by, but I watched roots growing. My son, there is a preparation that takes place before the manifestation. Before a tree appears above the ground, its roots are already seeking depth. Before a house can be raised, its foundation needs to be built. Before a promise is revealed, there is a process of formation taking place within the one who will receive that promise. You think that delay means that nothing is happening, but I tell you, some of the most important works happen when no one can see. Look at Joseph. He entered a prison believing that this place represented an interruption of his history. He might have thought his dreams were over within those walls. He could have believed that he had been forgotten. But I saw something different. While Joseph saw a prison, I saw a training room. As he saw chains, I saw a preparation of character. As he saw a place of no way out, I saw the path that would lead him to the purpose I had prepared. You think that the place where you are defines your destiny, but I tell you, no environment is greater than what I am forming within you. Look at David. He tended sheep in a lonely field. No one imagined that this young man would be chosen for a great mission. To human eyes, he was hidden, but to me that camp was a place of preparation. There his hands learned courage. There his faith was strengthened. There his soul learned to trust before facing great challenges. Verse: "The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry." Psalm 34:15. My son, I have never lost sight of you. I never let a tear go unnoticed. I have never abandoned a story that I myself have started. You think you were walking alone, but I tell you, even in the moments when you didn't feel my presence, my hand kept leading you. I'm already strengthening areas that you don't notice yet. I'm already preparing your mind to understand what once seemed confusing. I am already building foundations that will remain when the time of revelation comes. What you called delay was the place where I formed maturity. What you called silence was the place where I prepared depth, because when revelation comes, you will understand that nothing has been wasted. Each step carried a part of the purpose I was building within you, my dearly beloved child. I know that there are parts of your walk that still seem unexplained. I know you look at some events and ask why certain things needed to happen, why some paths changed, and why some answers took so long to arrive. You try to make sense of every detail, but you can't always comprehend the full drawing. But I want to reveal something to your soul. You think that many things did not make sense, but I tell you, some answers only appear when you look back with transformed eyes. While you are living a process, you see only a small part. You see a door closing, a loss happening, or an unexpected change. But I see that which is being built through each step. A seed does not understand the tree it carries within it. It remains hidden in the earth, surrounded by darkness, unaware of the shade it will one day offer, the fruits it will produce, or the beauty it will reveal. So, it is with you. You look at a difficult phase and think that it has no purpose, but I tell you, the process does not always immediately reveal the greatness of what is being formed. There are times when I allow you to walk without knowing all the details, because understanding in advance could prevent the necessary surrender. You think that if you knew everything from the beginning, you would have more tranquility. But I tell you, some revelations come at the right time, because your soul must first be prepared to receive them. My son, there are things that you can only understand after you go through. There are doors that only reveal their meaning after you pass through them. There are tears that only show their purpose when you realize what you were born through them. Look at the disciples. When they saw Jesus on the cross, they felt pain, confusion, and loss. At that moment, they did not understand the depth of that event. It seemed like the end of a hope. But later, with their eyes transformed, they understood that the cross was not just a pain. It was a demonstration of love. Verse: "For now we see as in a glass, in an obscure manner. Then we will see face to face." 1 Corinthians 13:12. My son, you are also living parts of history that have not yet fully revealed their meaning. You think some chapters were just suffering, but I tell you, I'm already connecting dots that seemed separate. I am showing that the loss was not outside of my care. Waiting was not out of my purpose. Change was not out of my direction. Silence has never been out of my control. I'm already working on a revelation within you. It's not just about understanding what's happened around you. It's about realizing who you've become along the way. It's about seeing how I've strengthened your faith, matured your vision, and deepened your roots. You think you need to receive all the answers to keep trusting. But I tell you, trust is often the way that prepares you to receive understanding. I'm already lighting up areas that previously seemed confusing. I'm already bringing clarity to memories that carried pain. I'm already showing that no part of your history has been forgotten. What today seems like a mystery is being transformed into a revelation that your soul will be able to comprehend at the right time. My beloved child, I know every prayer that has come from your lips and every request that has been born in the silence of your heart. I know those conversations that no one has heard, those moments when you closed your eyes and poured out before me, that which you could not explain to anyone else. I heard. But I know that many times you have looked at the passing time and thought there was no answer. You expected an immediate change, a visible solution, a door opening before your eyes. But I want to reveal something to your soul. You think I have not answered your prayers, but I tell you, I was already answering in a way that you have not yet recognized. You expected me to change circumstances first, but I was first transforming that within you, that you needed to be prepared to live a new reality. Some answers do not come as an external change. Some answers start as a quiet transformation on the inside. I healed thoughts before changing situations. I strengthened your faith before I delivered what you asked for. I worked on your consciousness before I put new opportunities before you, because I know the weight of that which you wish to carry. You ask for an open door, but I prepare your ability to walk through it. You ask for a blessing, but I strengthen your roots so that it does not become a burden. You ask for a change, but I prepare your maturity so that the change bears fruit. My son, you think that an answer must always look like what you imagined, but I tell you, my answer often comes in ways that your expectation cannot foresee. You expected a way out, but I brought perseverance. You expected a quick solution, but I brought growth. You expected me to remove the battle, but I strengthened you to go through it. And this is also an answer. Verse. Before they cry out, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear them. Isaiah 65:24. I never ignored a tear shed in secret. I have never despised a prayer offered sincerely. I never failed to listen to a soul who sought my presence. You think that the sky has remained still, but I tell you, the invisible has already received movements that your eyes have not yet perceived. While you were waiting for a change around, I was building a change within. While you were looking for external signs, I was revealing signs in your own transformation. I'm already working in places where your hands can't reach. I'm already organizing details that your limited vision can't keep up with. I am already preparing paths that will be born from a stronger heart. My son, do not confuse silence with absence. Do not confuse process with abandonment. Don't confuse a different response than expected with a lack of care. My answer began before your understanding. Just as a root grows before the tree appears, many of my works begin, hidden before they are revealed. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now, my dearly beloved child. I know there are places within your history that you look at and think you can never get out. I know that there are situations that seem too big, pains that seem too deep, and moments when you believed that that scenario would be the limit of your journey. But I want to reveal something to your heart. You think that certain situations have set your limit, but I tell you, no place is definitive when my hand is over your life. The environment where you are today has no authority to determine the end of your story. The difficulty you face now has no power to erase that which I am forming within you. You look at a difficult phase and think that it has come to an end, but I see a process of transformation taking place. My son, I know places where people believe nobody can get out. I know deep wells, long nights, and times when hope seems small. But my presence is not limited by the size of the difficulty. I raised Joseph from the well to the palace. He knew rejection, injustice, and abandonment. He was placed in a place where many would say his story was over. But while men saw a forgotten young man, I saw someone being groomed for a position of influence. The well was not Joseph's destination. It was only part of the way. So it is with you. You think that the place of your pain is the place where your story ends, but I tell you, It is often the place where a new version of you begins to be born. I restored Job after a season of deep loss. He lost what seemed to sustain his life, went through days of questioning and faced a pain that few would understand. But his story did not end in loss. I was present even when he didn't understand. I brought Peter back after the denial. He carried the weight of having failed at an important moment, but I did not allow that moment to be his final identity. You think your worst day reveals who you are, but I tell you, your restoration reveals even more. Verse: Though I fall, yet will I rise. If I dwell in darkness, the Lord will be my light. Micah 7:8. My son, I am already rebuilding areas that seemed destroyed. I'm already playing places that you believed would never be restored. I am already bringing life to regions of your soul that have become battle-weary. You think that some ruins need to be hidden, but I tell you, some ruins will become testimonies of my restoration. I don't just take you out of difficult places. I transform you along the way. Because when you come out of a difficult season by my hands, you don't come out the same way you came in. You carry learning. You carry depth. You carry a faith that was born in places where only I was present. I'm already working on its reconstruction. I am already strengthening your conscience. I'm already preparing you to look back and realize that what seemed like the end was just a passage to something you couldn't yet see. My dearly beloved child, I know that there are times when you look back and feel that you have lost a part of your journey. I know that you look at the years that have passed, the opportunities that have not happened, and the paths that have been left behind, and a question arises within your heart. Is it too late? But I want to reveal something that changes the way you see time. You think you have missed your opportunity, but I tell you, my grace reaches places where human time cannot reach. You count the years by the losses, but I count by the learnings. You look at that which has not happened, but I see that which has been formed within you while waiting. My son, you think you have stood still, but I tell you many times you were being prepared. There are seasons when you don't see fruit, but that doesn't mean life has ceased to exist. A seed remains hidden in the earth before breaking through the surface. The farmer does not abandon a plantation because he does not see fruit in a certain season. He knows the cycles. He knows that there is a time to plant, a time to grow, and a time to harvest. I also know every cycle of your life. You think a few years have been wasted, but I tell you, I am already bringing meaning to experiences that seemed purposeless. The tears you shed taught your soul to have depth. The difficulties you faced strengthened parts of yourself that might never have been developed into easy paths. Weights that seemed empty produced a maturity that you did not yet recognize. Verse: I will restore to you the years that were consumed by the locust. Joel 2:25. My son, when I restore, I don't just give back what is past. I transform the meaning of what happened. I take chapters that seemed lost and reveal that they were also part of the formation of his story. You think you have wasted time because you did not get where you imagined, but I tell you, your journey has never been measured only by the final destination. It was also formed by what happened inside you along the way. I am already restoring your view of the past. I am already healing the sadness for the years you believe you have lost. I am already showing that no step was useless when it was in my hands. Nothing that I have given to you has disappeared. Even the difficult paths produced learning. Even the closed doors produced discernment. Even the moments of silence produced a deeper faith. You think that time has taken things from you, but I tell you, time has also left within you that which will be needed for the next season. An ancient tree is not only valuable for the fruit it produces, its marks reveal the storms it faced and the roots it developed. So also your history bears signs of my faithfulness. I'm already working on what seemed lost. I'm already connecting experiences that once seemed separate. I'm already turning painful memories into sources of wisdom. My son, do not look back only with the eyes of loss. Look also with the eyes of revelation. Because time in my hands never disappears. What you have called delay, I can turn into preparation. What you have called waste, I can turn into the foundation for that which I am still building in you. My beloved child, I know the limitations that you have accepted as if they were truths about who you are. I know the boundaries you've built around your own life, often not because they were real, but because you've heard voices that made you believe you couldn't go any further. You've become accustomed to a small version of yourself, but I want to reveal something deep to your heart. You think you need to remain limited because you have become accustomed to your own boundaries, but I tell you, I have placed within you capacities that have not yet been fully awakened. There is something in you that has not yet been revealed. There is a force that has not yet been perceived. There is a part of your identity that has been hidden behind fears, insecurities, and memories that have tried to diminish what I have formed. A seed does not imagine the forest that can be born from it. It remains small to human eyes, hidden within the earth, but carries within itself a greatness that has not yet appeared. So are you. You look at your current history and think that it represents all that you can be. But I tell you, your present reality does not reveal all the potential that I have placed within your essence. You think that it is only that which you have been able to accomplish so far, but I tell you, I know that which is still being formed within you. Look at Gideon. He looked at his own weakness. He saw himself as small, incapable, and without sufficient resources to fulfill a great mission. But when I looked at him, I didn't just see his limitations. I saw courage. I saw someone who did not yet know the strength he carried. Look at Jeremiah. He believed he was not prepared. He looked at his age and his insecurities, but I looked at the purpose I had placed within him. You think that your lack of trust hinders my action, but I tell you, I work precisely in the places where you perceive your need for me. Verse. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared for us to walk in them. Ephesians 2:10. My son, you were not created by chance. You are not just the result of the circumstances you faced. You are not defined by the opinions you have received or the limitations you have accepted. I am already awakening a renewed awareness of who you are. I'm already touching old thoughts that made you believe you were smaller than you really are. I am already bringing light to areas where fear has tried to rule. I am already restoring a deeper insight into your own identity. Do not allow old versions to continue to rule an identity that I am already restoring. You think you need to go back to who you were before the pains, but I tell you, I am forming someone deeper, more aware and more prepared. The marks of the path have not diminished you. They revealed parts that needed to be strengthened. I'm not calling you to a fear-based life. I am awakening within you the awareness that there is more faith, more purpose, more understanding of that which I have already planted in your soul. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end. My beloved child, I know that there are battles that have marked your journey. I know there were times when you looked at the difficulties and asked why you needed to face that. I know that some fights seem bigger than your strength and that on certain days you thought that pressure would be enough to make you give up. But I want to reveal something that your pain has failed to show. You think the battle was to destroy you, but I tell you, many times the battle revealed a force that you did not yet know. You have seen only the conflict, but I have seen the growth. You saw only the weight of the moment, but I saw the building of a resistance that would remain when new challenges arose. My son, not every fight came to take something away from you. Some struggles came to reveal what I was already forming within you. Gold needs to pass through fire to reveal its purity. Fire does not create the value of gold. He only removes that which hid his true beauty. So it is with you. There are processes that have warmed up your life, moments that have put pressure on your faith, and situations that have revealed areas that needed to be strengthened. But I have not allowed these experiences to abandon you. I was working on you. You think the pressure was a sign that everything was falling apart, but I tell you some pressures were revealing a stronger structure being built within your soul. A root must face the dark earth before it can reach the light. It grows in silence, crosses hidden obstacles, and deepens before supporting a large tree. So also I am doing to you. You wanted to get out of difficulty quickly, but I was using that path to deepen your roots. You wanted the storm to end, but I was strengthening your ability to stand firm even when the winds came. Verse. Tribulation produces perseverance, perseverance experience, and experience hope. Romans 5:3-4. My son, I am already turning pressure into maturity. I'm already using difficult experiences to build deeper faith. I'm already showing that what tried to weaken you also revealed capabilities that were hidden. The enemy saw an attempt to fall, but I saw an opportunity for growth. That which tried to stop you served to deepen your roots. That which tried to rob them of their hope strengthened their dependence on me. What seemed like a barrier became a place where his soul learned to remain. You think it would have been better never to have faced certain battles, but I tell you, today you carry an understanding that you would not have gained without crossing these paths. I didn't waste any tears, I didn't ignore any difficult night, I didn't leave any moment of pain without purpose. I was present when you cried, I was present when you thought about quitting. I was present when his strength seemed small, and while you were asking if you could go on, I was already strengthening that within you that would remain. Because some victories don't start when the battle is over. Some victories begin when your soul discovers that it can remain standing even during battle. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, I believe, Lord, and declare that you're ready for this new phase. My dearly beloved child, I know there are times when your eyes have grown tired of waiting. I know your soul came close to giving up because you looked around and didn't find enough signs of change. I know that quiet moment when you wonder if it is still worth continuing. If your prayers have been heard, and if all that I have placed in your heart is really being led by me. But I want to speak directly to your spirit at this time. You think that the change has started now, but I tell you, it started the moment you decided to trust, even without understanding. Long before your eyes noticed any movement, I was already working. Long before circumstances revealed a transformation, I was already moving, that which no one could see. You look for visible signs, but I work first on the invisible. You expect to see the door open to believe that I am acting, but I tell you, many doors begin to be prepared before the doorknob is even touched. The miracle does not begin when everyone sees. The miracle begins when I move that which no one perceives. My son, do not give up at the moment when the process is getting to the point of revealing what has been prepared. Don't abandon the walk because the silence seems longer than you imagined. There are times when the deepest waiting precedes the most powerful revelation. You think nothing has happened because you have not yet seen the result. But I tell you, there are roots growing before the fruits appear. There is a construction happening before the structure is revealed. Look at Elisha and the servant who was with him. Around them was a visible threat, a scenario that seemed impossible, and a sense of helplessness. The servant looked with fear because he saw only what was in front of his eyes. But I opened your eyes. Verse. Lord, please open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. 2 Kings 6:17. My son, I want you to understand. That which your senses cannot grasp does not mean that it does not exist. You think you are alone, but I tell you, my presence is already enveloping your walk. You think you have been abandoned, but I tell you, I am already revealing protection where you saw absence. You think your story has lost its meaning, but I tell you, I am already showing purpose where you saw confusion. There is a spiritual reality happening beyond what your eyes can reach. There are movements that have not yet reached the surface, but have already been initiated in the deep. I'm already playing situations that seemed impossible. I'm already lining up details that you can't control. I am already preparing answers that will not be born of haste, but of the perfection of my care. My son, I know you are tired. I know the weight weighed heavily, but don't confuse the final silence of a season with the end of its history. Often, the moment you think about stopping is just when the revelation is closest, What seemed distant is being brought closer. What seemed lost is being restored. Stand firm. I'm still working where your eyes can't reach. My beloved child. I know that for a long time you believed that waiting was only a way to receive what you desired. You imagined that the main goal was to get to the other side, see the change happen, receive the answer, and finally rest. But I want to reveal something deeper to your heart. You think the waiting was about receiving something, but I tell you, the greatest work has happened within you. While you were waiting for a change around, I was performing a transformation within. As you watched the scene trying to find signs, I was strengthening your soul so that it would stand firm when the new moment came. My son, the greatest gift was not just what I would put in your hands. The greatest gift was that which I would build within your heart. Because what comes into your hands may change, but what I form within you remains. You think you just needed a new opportunity, but I tell you, you needed a new awareness to recognize the value of that opportunity. You think you just needed an open door, but I tell you I was preparing you to walk through it with maturity. I prepared your faith. I have matured his vision. I strengthened his identity. I worked in places inside you that no one could see. I touched wounds that you hid. I revealed fears that hindered his steps. I removed thoughts that made you believe that you were less than what I stated about your life. My son, you are not the end product of your mistakes. You are not defined by your downfalls. You are not the sum of the words that were said against you. You are not what you have lost. You belong to me. I don't call you by the name of your failures. I don't look at you through your hardest moments. I do not reduce your existence to a phase of pain. I call you by the name I know. I see what remains when all the masks fall. I see the essence I have put into you. I see the history that I'm still forming. Verse, He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Philippians 1:6. My son, that which I begin, I do not abandon. You think that some parts of your life have been broken forever, but I tell you, I am able to restore even that which you have ceased to believe. You think that waiting has shown its limitations, but I tell you, it has revealed its ability to remain. You think you have lost years trying to survive, but I tell you, during that time, I was taking deep roots within you. Now you begin to understand. You weren't just expecting a change of scenery. You were being transformed to carry a new consciousness. The wait revealed who I am. The waiting revealed my faithfulness, and it has also revealed who you are becoming in me. You are no longer the person stuck in the past. You are no longer the one who lives only by fear. You are no longer the one who believes that you cannot continue. I'm already restoring your identity. I am already awakening a renewed vision of who you are before my eyes. Because before I change what is around you, I transform what sustains you in the eyed. My beloved son. I have come to the end of this message, and I want to thank you for staying with me so far. I know your dedication, and I know that every minute you gave was a demonstration of seeking my presence. While many could have left, you chose to keep listening. I declare of your life that there is a blessing in store for those who endure to the end. Perseverance reveals a heart that is willing to trust, even when all cannot be seen. My son, nothing you have experienced has been wasted. Every tear, every weight, and every battle revealed parts of your soul that I was strengthening. I did not allow the processes to be greater than your ability to grow, because my hand remained supporting you at all times. Today, I want you to look back, not with sorrow, but with gratitude, because I have turned difficult paths into testimonies of my faithfulness. I am already doing profound work in your life, and that which has been begun within you will continue to be perfected by my hands. Stand firm, my son, because your story did not end in the place where you cried. I brought restoration where there was wound, hope where there was weariness, and direction where there was confusion. I am already leading you to new experiences with me, and every step you take in faith reveals that you are not alone. I am near at every station, and my promise remains alive. When you choose to trust me, your soul finds the strength to keep moving forward. My son, I also want you to carry this message forward. Share this word with someone who needs hope and allow other hearts to receive that which I have placed upon your life today. Enjoy this video and subscribe to this channel as an act of faith and communion. I bless your journey, your decisions, and your next steps. May my peace remain upon you, and may your home be strengthened by my presence. I am already preparing new moments of spiritual growth and revelations for your journey. Now receive my final blessing. May your mind be renewed, your heart strengthened, and your faith remain steadfast. Never forget that I keep working even when your eyes do not see. I am greater than any circumstance, and my presence is sufficient to sustain you every day of your life. Walk with me with confidence, and know that my love never fails or abandons you at any point in your journey. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here, because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater, and His presence is our strength. Trust Him, and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life, and see you in the next video.